All right, this man right here, Kurt Nice. We're gonna keep this moving. I haven't been explaining what I've been doing, so I'm gonna try to start now. All right. Um, right now, we've set up the radio station virtually so that we have a lineup of artists in 2025 that can provide us with music that is copyright free, you know. So I don't have to worry about that. That's one thing. That's why we have the AI artists. And we also have a bunch of music. See, originally it was just to, I started finding out about AI music just in order to get background music so that I could put on different ambient videos and just different videos in general so I wouldn't, get the copyright thing. So there's a bunch of free sources out there that give you music, but last year, a couple of them, including like the major one, Purple Planet, which had been providing background tracks and free music for years, they rescinded all of their licenses for that music. So retroactively, a whole bunch of videos got copyright, infringement or whatever. You get your little copyright. It's not a copyright strike, but you get your notification that you've got copyrighted song material in your videos, so it can't be monetized anymore. So for small channels or whatever like this one, that does make a difference. All right, so all those videos, they don't add up to anything at the end of the day anyway. You know what I'm saying, with the amount of views I get. But the point is, if it were a situation where those videos were important, then that would be a bad thing. All right, so taking that into consideration, we have a situation where we needed some music again. All right, so I'm looking for different sources, trying to find background tracks and and I stumbled onto Suno. All right, Suno, I was just there originally just to get instrumentals, but then I stumbled upon the whole lyric making ability and the fact that we can make songs that have AI voices that have emotion and depth and character to them. See, the voices that we have on 11 Labs, they're a little bit limited, and they're limited with the range of emotions and stuff that they can go into because they can't interact, and there's a lot of different things, okay? So the voices actually on Suno, with these AI voices, the thing that you'll notice is that they have a lot of emotion, character, and personality to them, right? And, that's a great thing. And people don't appreciate it right now. We'll get into a discussion about how, a lot of people in the industry, a lot of producers, in fact, are against AI music. All right, they're against it, and it doesn't have to be that way, but it is. And that's just the learning curve that we'll have to go through. So for now, we're gonna get back into some of the original reason why I did come on here, which was to get some of the instrumentals. So we've got a bunch of figures that we've debuted. We've got a bunch of different figures that we've debuted on the AI International and MC stage. Speaking of which, you've got our artist here, UK Savage, one of our AI artists from the crew called Grimecraft. All right, but these artists also have DJs. So I've been working on a DJ set to get some instrumental music back on the station. This is Shades Radio, so I want to actually have shows and stuff like that. We want to build like a little world here where we have actual content that I can put up on a daily basis. All right, and this is one way to do it. All right, by building this world here of artists and DJs and producers that are making music that we don't get copyright infringement for. All right, that's the point. So look, let's go into and part of the reservations people might have with this type of format is that they don't think any effort goes into it. They think you just push a button or type of text and then you have everything at your fingertips. No, it's not exactly like that. I mean, right now I think they just sent me a notice that I created at least like 1,000 songs. I think it was. It might be more than that. I'm thinking 5,000, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a lot. All right, of songs that I had to actually go through in generations. You have to go through to get to the one that you want. It's not that you just type a certain thing and then it automatically comes out on the other end. It's not like that at all. Sometimes you're making tiny little adjustments to make them say a word different, or to make a word fit different, or to make the lyrics sound better. To have a better voice. You're trying to do things to fine tune it. All right, to make those things come out. But let's forego all of that discussion right now about the lyrics and the MCs and the artists and all that stuff, and let's just talk about the music again. So, in order to even lay out a musical segment, this is what some of the things that we're gonna try to do to make it sound better. All right. But again, that's our artist there, UK Savage. We're in Pinnacle right now, and since we're just working on audio tracks, you're gonna see a lot of audio bars on the side. Okay. You're gonna see a lot of different little audio bars on the side, but let's see. How it works out is this. Right, we're in Pinnacle, and we've got a bunch of different tracks lined up. So we have a series of DJs. All right, just like a radio station. Regular, like stage radio, is gonna get, like, what I wanted to do is give you the feeling of how the radio sounded in the 90s. Now, our stuff is uncensored, so maybe more in the lines of Stretch and Bob. You know what I'm saying? Stretch and Bobito. That's how their radio station sounded, because they were on after, like, I think it was after 12 o'clock you could curse on the radio back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, after 12 o'clock. And then we were on a college radio station anyway. So it was a little bit different rules for them. But anyway, because it wasn't a fully commercial station, I don't think. I think it was like a one of those college community type station. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But anyway, this is going to give you the feel of like a 90s radio station where you could actually listen to music. You know what I mean? You could just actually listen to the station for an hour and enjoy it. Okay. Now, obviously, there's not any commercials unless they put the commercials on YouTube. That's not, and hey, shout outs to that, because we actually do want that. But anyway, this is going to be the regular format where you can just listen to the radio. Now, back in those days, you had different segments where there would be just a DJ spinning beats and spinning records, and you just hear some good music. They still have that these days, but all the music is trash. I'm sorry, dog. I don't listen to none of it. Like, I haven't listened to the radio for an hour in years. I mean, I don't even know how many years. Like, I haven't listened to the radio for an hour straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, I may once in a long while turn on, like, I'm talking about music stations. Now, when it came to like talk stations and stuff like that, like, I would listen to the news, and I would listen to that while driving and stuff like that. But I don't listen to like regular music radio stations that are all trash. They play garbage. They play the same songs. In that hour, you're probably gonna hear the same song twice. You know what I'm saying? And not that there's anything against it if it's a good song, but most of the music is not relevant to my life in any particular way. All right. It's not interestingly crafted. It's not like original enough for me to want to hear it. The cadences and the flows are not necessarily to my liking. You know what I'm saying? So there's cadences and flows that I prefer. Like, people that prefer boom bap music prefer different types of cadences and stuff. We can deal with those cadences too, but the all day 808 type of trendy cadence is not necessarily the thing that we're always into. And they don't just play instrumentals ever. Like, when do they ever just play instrumentals on the radio? Like, they used to do that back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, with different DJs would take over, you would just hear them play stretches where they would just play beats and stuff like that, break beats and instrumentals from records that you know or whatever, and then you would hear some rapping. So that's what we have here. One of our DJs is going to be a particular DJ we have is a DJ called DJ Chill. We have a list, but we're not going to go into that right now. Maybe I'll show it, pop it up on the screen. We have a list of DJs that are associated with our artists, and what I'm going to try to do is put together set playlists for these DJs to just spin some records, maybe throw in a couple of songs that we want to be promoted in there, but just spin a DJ set, mostly instrumental. So I have one lined up here that I've been working on. I worked on it last night, and it consists of a bunch of tracks that we put together. I'm gonna go back into Suno and I'll show you how we put these tracks together. But now that we have the tracks, let's see what it actually takes to line them up and put them into a set. All right, because you gotta have individual tracks, but now we gotta put them somewhere. Right now, I gotta do something with it. I gotta make it into something. I gotta use it for something. So what we're gonna use these tracks for is to be records that you hear on Shades Radio. Okay, so in this particular set, we're gonna go through a couple, and I'm just gonna be checking the transitions between each track right now. That's what I want to do. I want to check the transitions between the tracks to see if they're smooth or not. Okay, so let's do that and double check that. All right. All right, so let's see. Let's go. So let's start it off here. Uh, right at the beginning. Like, so we're gonna have. I made those tracks in Suno where we had DJ Chill, um, scratching his name and stuff like that. So we're gonna use those tracks, break it up in between some other instrumentals, and then that's gonna be his DJ set. So we're gonna start off this set with just like a random Shades Radio beat. This is actually called Shades Radio Classic Hip Hop Video. That's the name of this track. It's an instrumental from that track. You're gonna see how the transition goes into the next track, into DJ Chill. So that was pretty smooth right there. That was a pretty smooth transition. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. So that, you couldn't even tell. It was a nice transition right there. You wanna ride? And that was another transition that just brought it back to that same other track. I had to pull up. Now on that track, it's very low at that particular section, and that's kind of why I wanted it right there. But we did a little audio effects on that. As you can see, we have an equalizer that's changing the quality of the sound on that track. All right, the default, what it's called is the telephone transition, like it's the telephone effect, but that's just the name of it. It makes it sound like it's on the telephone, but it's not really. It doesn't sound like that to your mind, but. I'm also checking for like the levels too. Like over here, I'm looking at trying to make sure that the levels are kind of the same. Right, that was another transition right here. Let's go. It wasn't too bad, but it's a little loud though. This one's a little too loud. So we're gonna pull this down. So we're gonna grab the audio bar and pull it down a little bit. This is too fucking loud. It was on 11. Let me see. Let's see. It's on 6 now. You see over here, it's on 6 now. Because that track is low, that's why I pulled it up. It's just that in the transition you can hear when the beat comes back in. The transition's not too bad though. Transition's not too bad. I think it's acceptable. It's a DJ. He's a DJ. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna accept that transition right now. So that's our AI DJ Chill, doing his thing. All right, let's go to the next transition where he's coming out of that beat and he's going to switch it to another beat. I think that was pretty smooth. Let me see. That's pretty smooth. That's acceptable. We'll keep that there. Most of these are painstakingly went over these things before I have it to this degree. I just put it up as a DJ set. And I want to add one other thing to it. I only have one of those on here, one of these little transitions that I have to add multiple times over these beats. So let's go to the next transition and see how that one sounds. And as you see, this is like a longer transition right here, like a longer crossfade. It's all this is crossfades. You know what I mean? It's just crossfade. You know, and this is a longer one, so it's gonna let the beat under it a little bit longer than it normally. You see the other ones. Alright, so then he goes into like a little bit of a reggae groove right there. Alright, he goes into a little bit of a reggae groove off of that beat. That's a switch in tempo. It is definitely a switch in tempo right there. But it's a DJ set. Let me see. But it's bringing it back into the hip hop too, though. You know what I'm saying? It was transitioning back from a reggae vibe to a hip hop vibe. So then it's gonna go into a little bit of an instrumental of this track. And this is where I think right here I want to maybe add those things I'm talking about. All right, let's get to the first transition and then we'll find it and then we'll bring that back. Now this was a hard one right here, and I've got it to the best that I can make it without changing the rest of the stuff in the back of it. Because once I start altering these, the things behind it are gonna move too. So the amount of work that I'm gonna have to do to make this change is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it to go through just to change this little transition right here. And I might be able to mask it anyway. Now this one on the top right here is a vocal. So I don't need to actually fade it in. I will, just to, be on the safe side, just so they don't hear any pops or anything like that, but I didn't hear one. Now, I have the instrumental for this track, and that's what was playing first. Right, so actually it was just the instrumental of this same track that's playing. But since I have it in stems, I have it as instrumental and vocals. But I also have it as one track together as well. But right now we just have it still separated out. So I'm going to go from one instrumental back to the beginning of that instrumental, and then now bring the vocals in. All right, so that's basically what we did. So we just had to find a transition point where we could transition from the instrumental back to the beginning of the instrumental, and then now bring the vocals in. So like I said, it's a little off. Yo, Grandmaster Flash with the Furious Five. Turned vinyls to sermons, kept the spirit alive. Each still watching my levels over here. He rewired the vibe. Brick City to Queens, where the echoes survive. Poor righteous teachers, wise, intelligent. R.I.P. Shaheed. Their message was heaven sent. Knowledge, wisdom, culture, freedom we need. Building minds with the science plant and every. All right, y'all gonna, you can hear the rest of that track once you hear the full version of it on the thing. It's actually a good track. All right. And that's one of our AI artists. That's Poetica, the Cypher chick. All right. Let's go to the next transition here. Let's go back a little bit. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a different transition because, as you can see, we're leaving the vocals in up here. We're leaving the vocals in, but we're taking the beat out and switching the beat to a different beat. So let's see how this transition works. I know it's going to be a little funky on the vocals because it's a different beat now, but let's see how it transitions. You pioneers of the craft, this one's for you. From parks of the Bronx to beats worldwide, we honor architects who built this vibe. My light sounds nice, check one, check two. Pioneers of the craft, this one's for you. From parks of the Bronx to beats worldwide, we honor architects who built this vibe. Keep it real, silky smooth, all right, now that reminds you of a DJ set though, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though it has that weird, like, little non-matching beat with the audio, that still makes it seem like a live DJ set though, even more, I feel like. You know what I mean? Than it being just perfect. It was just perfect. You wouldn't think it was a real person.
Architects who built this vibe. My light sounds nice. Check one, check two. Pioneers of the craft. This one's for you. The beats worldwide. We are the architects who built this vibe.
Keep it real, silky smooth, keep it real, silky smooth, keep it real, silky smooth, You on the ride?
So he's back to that. We're back to that. We're doing a callback to his intro of his DJ Chill intro beat. So we're gonna have that strung throughout this thing, separated up with different tracks, and then finish it off at the end. So let's go to the next transition point. Let's go to the next transition. See how we go into. I think that's a pretty smooth transition. Here, I have like 2 different versions of it because the vocals for this version are off. So I had to keep generating. This is the one cream that I generated mad times, like most recently. So I don't know. This one itself probably had 20, anywhere between 20 and 40 renders of this one song just to try to get it right. Switching little stuff, changing this thing, changing that little thing to try to make it work. So it's not just you type something in and then you get whatever you want. That's it doesn't really work like that. The effort comes in to getting the final product from what you started with. And sometimes it's not going to one. It's not just type something in and you get something out. It's not that. You type something in, change it again, 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 and then you get what you want. Right? So let's go to this better version of this track. But the instrumental for this is still good, and it's slightly different than the instrumental for the one that I did accept. But since this is a nice DJ set for DJ Chill, we're just playing some instrumentals and stuff. That instrumental is still fine too. It's a little bit different than the other one. So let's hear the transition. Alright, so here's the transition. And the beat is actually, the beat that we ended up using is slower than this one. That's the main difference. The beat that I finally used is slower than this beat. Alright, I think I preferred this version of the beat, but the vocals weren't any good. But the vocals are way better on the next version. All right, so let's see the trends. So what I had to do, so that's why you can see right here, these little yellow lines right here indicate that we altered the speed of the track. So I sped that track up in order to try to match it with this. And we have a long transition here, so let's see how it works out. This is like a Woo type beat. That's why I like this one too, and this version of the song came out better. They changed it into like a Woo type of beat. But you still see but I'm just gonna slow it down now here. Now that's the speed that it's really supposed to be going. So it was, it might have been a little awkward, this transition. I don't know. We'll see it in the final mix. See, the main thing I look for is to see if you're bobbing at the same times. Like, even if the beat switches, I just want to see if you're kind of like, if you're bopping at the same times. See, it's still like you still got a cadence where you're still in rhythm. still want to be staying in rhythm. So we took over from the drum and slowed it down. So we could bring in the vocals to this track, which is like the same beat, but it's a mover version of the beat. And we have multiple masters of that. So like in Suno, once you make the beat, then you can remaster it. And once you remaster it, it gives you like a better tonal quality to it. But it'll give you like a higher one and a lower one. It'll give you a more bassy version and a more one that got more highs in it. So we have both of those versions on here now. So I'm like, right now, at the beginning, I was only using one of those versions. So now we're gonna bring in the other version right here. Like that little synth in there, that's not on the other one. Still trying to keep my levels below the orange. So that little synth that's playing is from the top track. A lot of that bass is on the bottom, or vice versa. Actually, it might be vice versa, but you know what I'm saying. Fatter track does seem to be the top one, so that might be the bass, but the bottom one has the synth with those highs. Let's see, there's another transition here. Back to DJ Chill, so that you won't forget that he's a real DJ now. You won't forget that he's a real DJ. So we're breaking up the beat, extending it as much as possible before we bring in the lyrics, so that you know that this is a live DJ set. Okay, so he's just looping the beat and stuff now. So, but he's transitioning out of that to remind you of who he is.
Just chill. Keep it real silky smooth form, son. Keep it real silky smooth form. Keep it real silky smooth form, son.
Now this is the thing that I was looking for. These right here. All right. We don't have any station IDs in here. That's why I had to play that part. Okay. I wanted to find that in the, what's the name? All right, so that's why we have to take these and kind of add them. So let's copy, well, so let's go onto the track first. Let's go into this track and then copy this thing. Because now we want to copy this little station ID. Now that's very subtle. That one's very subtle, but I'm going to make it more and less pronounced throughout. So it doesn't have to be in your face every time. Okay. Now there's one other little transition that we're going to, well, not one, but maybe more than that.
Let's go. I'm just.
All right, so hold on. So, okay, so we're going to take this thing and then retroactively put it back. So let's do that right now. Let's put one right at the beginning. But we're going to take that crazy echo off of it. But we're still going to put some reverb on there. My standard one that I like is the church one, but let's go with a cavern sound. And we usually have to pull the audio up once we put a reverb on it. So let's start it off.
This is Shades Radio.
You know what? Let's put it more closer back to the transition. Let's put it right by the transition, right before he transitions to his DJ Chill thing. So let's see.
This is Shades Radio.
See that's good, right? See, that sounds a lot better now, right? You come in, you start, they do the ID, and then he tells you who he is.
This is Shades Radio.
Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Do we need to? Let's see how long this one is. Because I don't think we need to remind. No, that's very short. It's very short. We don't. Do we need to beat you in the head at the beginning? Do we need to be like, this is Shades Radio?
You wanna ride?
Yeah, this is a dead space right here, so we might as well throw that over it. This is but we have a different one. We have that guy saying a different guy saying the same lines as the female, but then this is DJ Chill. He's very chill. Let's see how this guy sounds. If he's not chill, it's not gonna work. If he's too amped, it's not gonna work.
This is Shades Radio.
That's not too bad. We'll throw reverb on him. He's not too amped.
This is Shades Radio.
Okay, we'll let it pull out just so we can have room for the reverb. So let's put him on there right in this nice dead spot. Throw a nice reverb on him. Let's see how that sounds right quick.
This is Shades Radio.
You see how it's lower? See, I always usually have to pull the these up. Once you put that reverb on there, you usually have to increase the audio.
This is Shades Radio.
I could stand for a little bit more of an echo on him right there, though. So we do want that echoey stereo echo one. We do want that, but let's do it very subtly, and let's pull you out here, give you enough room to hear the echo, and then we're gonna have to fade you out because it'll be a little backlash. So let's see how that goes.
This is Shades Radio.
Yeah, so that extended a little bit, but we can extend it even more than that. Let's go to a 3. But the delay on it might be so crazy that it's not gonna serve us well. Let's see.
This is Shades Radio.
Now again, we want to pull it back closer to the transition, just so that it just sounds better when it's closer to the. Sometimes when it's better when it's closer to the transition. Let's see.
This is Shades Radio.
Keep it real, silky smooth forms.
It actually could be a tiny bit more, even a little bit more back. Hold on a second. So that's if it goes right in, so you're still hearing it over that transition.
This is Shades Radio.
Sorry, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I want to hear it a little bit more right over that transition.
This is Shades Radio.
That's better. I think that's better, right? I think that's a little bit better. One more time, let's hear that.
This is Shades Radio.
Okay, cool. So let's see how long this track is. And then that'll determine if we need to put one in the middle. Because, like, hey, we got to beat you in the head a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the point. Let's see. But only if this is like a nice little dead stop. Listen, he's going crazy right here. We don't need any of that.
Keep it real, silky smooth form, son.
I'm just trying to look along the line and see if I see any like little dead spaces. There's one right here. Let's see how long that lasts. Let me see. Yeah, this that beat is fine. Let's see. We can let that one fly. We don't need to ruin that with a station ID. We don't have to do every single transition. What's this low spot here? Let me see what this seems like a little low spot right here. No, that's fine. I can just let the beat ride. Right here, there's another little low spot. Let's see if we can put it there. Fine. We can leave it. Let it ride. Let the beat ride. Right, I don't see any other low spots in here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to drag it. No more. I don't see any like low spots. Like I'm looking for low spots where there's no beat at. That's where we would put those station IDs or over a transition. Gonna let that ride. Okay, we're gonna let that ride. Looking for any little low spots, any dead air spaces. That's what I'm looking for. Any spaces where there's like a lot of dead air. We could throw a ID right there. Do we need to remind you in the middle of there? We could. Let's see.
This is shades.
Because we went a long time without doing one. All right, so let's keep moving. That transition. Oh, that's where our transition is right there. That's definitely dead air right here. It's definitely dead air right here. That's completely dead. But it hits on the thing. Let's see if we can maybe catch in the first one. And we might, and that's the reverb one. Let's see how that sounds.
This is shades.
Okay, that's actually okay because it's such a long echo. We might have to pull it up just a tad bit though. We might have to pull it up just a tad bit right there.
This is shades.
Okay.
Yo, Grandmaster Flash with the furious fire.
All right, what's this right here?
The lyrics so tight, the brat to tat with the flows that amaze. But
Okay, let's go back. We're good here. We have
my mic sounds nice. Check one, check two. Pioneers of the craft. This one's for you. The beats worldwide. We honor architects.
Yeah. Keep it real, silky smooth, silk. Keep it real, silky smooth, silk. Keep it real, silky smooth, farm. You on the
what is
ride?
this right here? What is this right here? Is pretty loud, it's pretty steady, so I don't think we need anything over this beat. Alright. Alright, let's go to here. ID there. We're right into the middle of everything. That's when we're starting to cook with fish grease right here. So we don't need to interrupt anything. We don't need to interrupt anything there. That's when we put our last one in, right?
Real silky smooth form, son.
This is shit.
All right, that's we put that in. Let's see what our last transition. What is this?
Yo, let's go. I'm just meditating.
Okay, that's when we bring our beat in.
Yo, let's go. I'm just meditating on the present tense, pondering the meaning of a lunar eclipse when the sun's below the earth, casting shadows high out past the sky. Well, Y equals self, and that's progress. But don't take the words out of context. The eve of destruction is near, and arc is the key to unconscious fear. There's still much infinite stakes to go, but as above, so below. I'm just an apparition manifested on the physical plane, covered by a carbon-based membrane. And although it seems insane, my 5'8" skeleton acts as a frame, walking, talking, scully on top, along with some knots and locks. Naughty as karate chops, and yes, I got the kung fu grip that might slip past your guard and tap your esophagus. I'm small but not soft like no jellyfish, cause I got a spine, 2 lungs, and no gills. Plus, I give thrills to the other souls watching, scoping my vibes and everything but a coffin. So here's my resume, check it, it say MDA, where I work for low pay until the day that I step into infinity. Back to the stars where there are no enemies, cause nowadays friends pack gats, and an argument with that in the knapsack is whack. So just chill, take a pill, sip, swallow, or an edible. Take the time to relax and you'll always feel incredible.
I don't know if that's too loud. It's that it peaks a little bit right there. I had it up. It's on 3. I mean 7. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong line.
To relax and you'll always feel incredible.
Yeah, it's better.
So my attitude is polluted like ecology, cause in college I study human thought or psychology.
Now, if you see what's going on here, we've got the audio track on track 3 right here, and then this is the main vocal track right here. This is pretty steady throughout. Then we've got an effects vocal track up here. All right, so just to show you, like, this is what this track sounds like. See, that one could have been a little bit louder. So we're just going to bring it up to medium. Now it's going to peak a little bit down here, so let's see. All right, hold on. Let's bring it back in. It's probably going to peak a little
It's
bit.
a key to unconscious fear. There's still much infinite stakes to go, but as above, so below. I'm just an apparition manifested on the physical plane, covered by a carbon-based membrane. And although it seems insane, my 5'8" skeleton acts as a frame, walking, talking, scully on top, along with some knots.
You hear that
and
nice
locks.
little echo effect right there? That's what I want.
But as above, so below. I'm just an apparition manifested on the physical plane, covered by a carbon-based membrane. And although it seems insane, my 5'8" skeleton acts as a frame, walking, talking, scully on top, along with some knots and locks.
Then
Naughty
it
as
drops.
karate chops, and yes, I got the kung fu grip that might slip past your guard and tap your esophagus. I'm small but not soft like no jellyfish, cause I got a spine, 2 lungs, and no gills. Plus, I give thrills to the other souls
This one up.
watching.
This is a little too low as well. Let's pull us up to medium and see where we're going so we don't peak out.
Got a spine, 2 lungs, and no gills. Plus, I give thrills to the other souls watching, scoping my vibes and everything but a coffin. So here's my resume, check it. It say MDA, where I work for low pay until the day that I step into infinity. Back to the stars where there are no enemies, cause nowadays friends pack gats, and an argument with that in the knapsack is whack. So just chill, take a pill, sip, swallow, or an edible. Take the time to relax and you'll always feel incredible.
let's see if we can throw an additional. There's already an echo on the original track, but let's see if we throw another echo on. What will happen? Let's throw our smallest. Well, it could be smaller because I can just change these, but it's easier when you keep it like onto these like not defaults, but these these selected. I don't even know how you call it, but these selected filters, right? These pre-designed filters, because then you'll know exactly where it is. You know what I mean? Like you can make all your custom ones and save it. You know what I mean? You could save it and then have a custom one, but you already have a bunch of custom ones right here. So let's just put another slight echo. And usually, like I said, I have to increase the audio. Let's see if we'll have to do
Take
that.
the time to relax and you'll always feel incredible.
All right, we might want, instead of the echo, we might want a reverb. So let's just take that off for right now. It's still
The
there.
time to relax and you'll always feel incredible.
All right, that's how. Let's just put, instead of a echo, let's put a reverb on it. Let's see. I wanted it to last longer. Let's put my go-to is the church one.
Take the time to relax and you'll always feel incredible.
I still wanted the echo a little bit right there. Let me just pull it up and see what that, if I like it better. Let me see. And see, this is no exact science. There's no perfect way. This is all just preference. That's all this is. It's just preference, just like any other form of art. Which is why, like, I enjoy using AI programs to do music, because it's just a way to express yourself with art, and it gives more people the ability to have that form of expression. And and maybe that's what the producers are upset about. Maybe they're upset that, and because I can empathize with that, because as a graphic designer, that's what happened to graphic design. Now everybody's a graphic designer, but that started back in 2005. All right, that started almost 20 years ago. All right, where everybody started thinking they were a graphic designer. That started back when I had my store, and everybody thought they could do CD covers and stuff like that. That's when artists still had CDs, and there were certain people they were coming to, like myself, that were doing their CD covers. But then, that's when everybody started knowing what Photoshop was. You know what I mean? That's when you start first hear everybody in general knew what Photoshop was. Like graphic designers, we all been knew what it was because we've been using it. But then that's when it got public. And then everybody started, when you Photoshop a picture. People started hearing that. Let me Photoshop that picture. And now that's just a normal term in our language when you Photoshop something. But that's a program by Adobe that was out years and years ago, and all of us graphic designers made it popular and, and made it the most popular, graphic design program out there. But now, it's even worse. You have stuff like Canva and all these templates, and so much of that is AI influenced that graphic design has been getting kicked in the ass by AI for years. And now it's the music industry's turn, and everybody's like in shock. They didn't see it happening in all of these different other industries, how AI was influenced, like, even down to driving a car. AI can influence driving a car. Like, that wasn't normal 20 years ago. So if you see it, like, and they've been telling you this, like, in so many movies and in so many different things, that, AI is growing, it's, yes, it is, in every different area of life, including music. So in this way, I enjoy it, just like some people enjoy their Tesla or their self-driving cars or whatever else they have that's not a Tesla. We all enjoy using GPS and talking to Siri, or, getting auto-corrected on your text so you can spell like a normal human that knows languages correctly, instead of a person that doesn't know how to spell because you didn't really read that much and you didn't learn English the proper way. So AI helps you seem like a well-spoken individual. You all enjoy that, right? So this is just another aspect of it. Okay, so I enjoy this form, and it's democratized the ability for everybody now make music that sounds reasonable enough to play on your own while you're walking around, or send to your friends and let them play it and they'll enjoy it too. Just as much they'll enjoy Lil Baby or Lil Yachty or Sexy Chocolate or any of these other artists that are getting millions of dollars to do the things that they're doing. And that's okay. You're like, oh, the AI music is soulless. No, there's a bunch of regular human beings that make soulless music all the time. Or if they make, or their music is filled with a depraved and repugnant soul that they show you on their music, and that's just fine. Y'all have no problems with that. But then as soon as AI is like, yo, you can make this beat and da-da-da, and it can sound like this, and I don't have to work 10 hours in the studio to try to make this thing happen. I could just put it in the AI and visually, obviously you're still gonna work 10 hours sometimes on a beat. It's not gonna be in the ways that you used to do it. It's not gonna be trying to manipulate the little passes and this and that to make the beats fit. You're already gonna have a usable track that you're gonna be able to start out with. Or you might just need some horns or something like that. So you just tell it to give me some horns, right? You don't have to try to make it on your keyboard. You have to try to find the horns and then make it. That whole process, hey, AI affects everything I do now with graphics and video. I embrace it and I'm using it. So let's continue. All right. So again, we're going to put that reverb on there. We increased it a little bit. Now let's see where we at.
Take the time to relax and you always feel incredible.
Now it popped in hard. I could crossfade.
Take the time to relax and you always feel incredible.
Yeah, I could do a little bit of a tiny one. Let's see what we do.
To relax and you always feel incredible.
So that's a little bit better, right? With the little transition right there.
To relax and you always feel incredible. So my attitude is polluted like ecology. Cause in college I study human thought or psychology. So when my biology fades, remember that I got paid off the same lines that you diss. That's too low key and unsteady.
See, now you see here that we're gonna have some times where the beat drops out. Let's see if it works.
But they still want easy rhymes to kick with no heart and no thought. I lack wisdom, but hey, I'm self-taught. My mind's high, potent like a microchip, and intellectually high, just like a mountain's tip. But don't slip, taking trips to the mountaintop. You might get robbed, not block the clock. Then on.
All right, we still gotta. This one's gotta be a little bit higher though. It's not high enough because it's a little bit lower.
Hey, I'm self-taught. My mind's high, potent like a microchip, and intellectually high, just like a mountain's tip. But don't slip, taking trips to the mountaintop. You might get robbed, not block the clock. Then on your way to getting your corn popped like pops. And that's just about as easy as it can happen. Sounds so breezy when they talk about it rapping.
All right, do we need a little? Let's see if do we need a little transition here? Let's see.
To get in your corn pop like pops. And that's just about as easy as it can happen. Sounds so breezy when they talk about it rapping. It's almost like they're capping. They keeping facts a fatting. It's always on the back end. You best to get to packing. No matter where they stacking, somebody catch them lacking. Never out of fashion, always out.
Another little transition. Let's see. I'm just sliding out to increase the space that I can see. Okay.
Pop! And that's just about as easy as it can happen. Sounds so breezy when they talk about it rapping. It's almost like they're capping. They keeping facts a fatting. It's always on the back.
All right, we can pull up this audio a little bit. We got room to make it a little bit
Pop! And that's just about as easy as it can happen. Sounds so breezy when they talk about it rapping. It's almost like they're capping. They keeping facts a fatting. It's always on the back end. You best to get to packing. No matter where they stacking, somebody catch them lacking. Never out of fashion, always out of passion. They gonna make it happen. They gonna have to blast them. So now it's just another dead body for the body shop. Once was on top, but no longer does the body rock. He got pop, pop, pop. Posted up on the block and then it stopped. It's over. It's over. It's done. It's done. You finished, son. It's over. It's done.
see if this is. Let me just see something real quick.
Done. Finished, son. It's over. It's done. It's done.
Can we delay that even more? Let's see.
Done. It's done. Finished, son. It's over. It's done. It's done.
Okay, right at the end of that. Let's see. Let me see.
It's done. It's done. Finished, son. It's over. It's done. It's done.
A little bit.
Done. It's done. Finished, son. It's over. It's done.
It's like it feels like I have like it has like one extra beat. Let me just see if that's what it's just bothering me.
It's over. It's done. It's done.
We're gonna leave it at that.
It's
We're gonna leave it at that.
over. It's done. It's done. It's done.
Keep it real silky smooth form.
All right, let me see. And then we're transitioning out to the final beat right before he goes off his set. So do I need to extend this? Let's see if we can extend
Done.
it.
Keep it real silky.
Yeah, I think that sounded better. Let me see.
It's done. It's done. It's done.
Keep it real silky smooth form.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good transition. Let's see this.
It's over. It's done. It's done. It's done.
Keep it real silky
And as you
smooth.
can see, we changed the beat down here, but we're keeping the vocal track for a little while before we completely transition out of it.
Form.
Because it's the end of the show. We're still saying the over is finished.
Keep it real silky smooth form. Keep it real silky smooth form.
Now, should I add another ID right there? Let's see how it sounds. It needs to be louder though, so I need to take that echo. Let's make it a reverb instead. Oh, it was a reverb. What am I doing? Or no, let's put them on cavern so it'll have a little bit more of an echo.
This is Shades Radio.
Alright, so it should be on the third one. Right here. Instead of the first one.
This is Shades Radio.
Well, that's the fourth one, but yeah.
This is Shades Radio.
Alright, we have to catch it right before it starts scratching.
This is Shades Radio. This is Shades Radio.
Okay, I think that would transition right there.
This is Shades Radio.
Can we get any more height out of that? Can we get any more levels out of that? A little bit. Without it peaking or anything? Let's see.
This is Shades Radio.
That'll probably be like the last station I did, and then we'll be out. Real quick, 2 minutes.
Keep it real silky smooth.
Alright, let's go to the next transition.
You wanna ride?
and let's end with our The Realist. This is just a fun little transition that we always need to use right at the end. Now, I could put it together, but we'll see what happens.
Shades Radio, the realest on the air, the realest you gonna hear.
Okay, there we go.
Real silky smooth for him, son.
Shades Radio, the realest on the air, the realest you gonna hear.
I think we can put it out a little bit farther, like right there.
Shades Radio, the real.
Because we don't want it to meld with the other one.
Shades Radio, the realest on the air, the realest you gonna hear.
All right, so there we go. And there we have it. All right, so that was a while. And hey, if you're stuck with me, shout outs to you. Give the video a like and a thumbs, one of them thumbs up, and a subscribe if you haven't already. But I'm gonna be doing a lot of Suno stuff on here, man. All right, and if you want to come along on the journey, watch the world building and be a part of it, make your own tracks, send them in so you could have your artists on the station too. We can have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I see doing this with. We'll have a whole bunch of versions of music that's we can all send to each other. That's copyright free on their channels. They could use it on their channel. I could use it on mine. So I got different versions of good tracks that I like. Put them on mine. You guys got a station. I'll make a different version. Send it to you. You can play it on your station. We're all having fun. You know what I'm saying? Creating our record labels full of artists and DJs and personalities. And we can just share music and enjoy it. Right? And maybe that's what music is supposed to be. Maybe it's not supposed to be an industry-related commodity that you have to wait for somebody to make something so that you can go purchase it. Maybe it isn't that. Maybe it's something that you're supposed to share with your friends, free of charge. Maybe that's what music is supposed to be. Maybe it's not something that you have to sit around and, worry about how you're gonna, pay your light bill because you're working on a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, those are just some things to think about. Comment down below if you understand what I'm saying, or if you have any questions about what I'm doing, or if you disagree with what I'm saying. All right? Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comments. Until the next time, this is your man right here, Kurt, and I see E for Shades Radio. We out.